I've been trying to film this video this third time now. And every time, somehow, just for this one video, and it's the only time it happened. First two times, thought I'd turn on the GoPro. Nope. Not so much. Anyway, let's see. Got my bike back from the shop. From Mark at Brooklyn Moto. New bars. Trying out my mirrors this way too. Seems like I could see just a little bit more. And should help me lane split, I don't know, by like a 1/4 inch on each side. It all matters. All right, leave me alone. In the spirit of preparedness, thought I had a battery in that GoPro. I do not. Or SD card. Have the battery, don't have the SD card. Whatever, it's just like not having a battery. Beautiful day out, 73 degrees, very nice. Rained a little bit this morning, but that's all right. Yeah, so I got the bike back in the shop, got new bars, got a new clutch slave installed, which has made activating the clutch just a little bit easier, maybe like 10 to 20% or so. I can't quantify it, whatever. So yeah, happy with that. Mark also managed to clean up the mess of wiring that my buddy and I did with the front and rear cameras, so happy with that as well. Bike looks a lot cleaner now, and also happens to obscure the license plate just a little bit, which, if you know, you know. Friends experience. I'm on my way to Classic Car Club to get a little bit of work done. And good scenery, good people, good bar, good kitchen. I did the California Superbike School yesterday, which was just stellar. Phenomenal. I was able to actually use my GoPro on all of the track rides, which was actually really cool. Also, oddly enough, a little bit boring to look back at. You know, this isn't MotoGP, but I will be posting my last session soon with some commentary on kind of the coaching style and kind of what to expect, what to bring. All in all, just phenomenal experience. There's levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. I did level 1. Anyway, I'll go into that in a dedicated video. Definitely thought this asset was going to turn into me. So I had a little bit of a decision to make between now and next season. I can either go full on this bike, right? And I'd get like the clear clutch cover, which is probably like $1,000 or so all in. Exhaust, full titanium exhaust. Probably about another $1,500 all in. I mean, installing it on this bike, luckily, isn't all that complicated. The whole exhaust is pretty much out there for the world to see. It's exposed. Or I can go ahead and put a deposit down on the Streetfighter V4 S. And I don't know, I'm kind of torn on this. Having been to the track this past weekend, I kind of want the Streetfighter. But at the same time, like, I've only been riding since February. And I haven't even begun to explore the potential of my current bike. My only real reasoning is in getting the Streetfighter is that I think it would do better on the track than this bike, than the Monster, especially the 1200S. The 1200S sits a bit lower than the 1200R, and so has a bit less clearance on lean angles. So like I know people that have the 1200R, have the 1200R, track it, no problem, good lean angles. 1200S, you'll scrape the pegs. So, I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not leaning as much yet, I don't think, that I need to worry about scraping pegs, but really it's only going to take a couple of track days and they'll be scraped. And so that's repair bills. Best case scenario, right? Repair bills. So that's kind of my piece of reasoning here. And whatever, don't try to use logic on me. There's no logic here. Right? There was no logic to buy a 1200S even as a starter bike to begin with, or a motorcycle at all for that matter. You kind of can't logic your way out of that or into that. So yeah, I kind of have a decision to make. I'm not going to go for the Streetfighter SP. You're getting what, a dry clutch, which isn't really which isn't adding anything that I would notice anyway, aside from obviously the sound, which I'm not too keen on to begin with. I know that's like sacrilegious in the Ducati community. People kind of know Ducati as a dry clutch. Also, the SP is black, so I don't know, think of that as you will. Anyway, I'm also not about to spend 35 grand on the SP. It just doesn't make a ton of sense for me. So yeah, that's the decision I've got to make. Help. I hear, and for me, I'm not gonna have two bikes, not anytime soon. Like both in terms of second gear, both in terms of financially, it's like $50,000 worth of bike, but also like I'm not there. I'd have to garage both of them. I'd have to explain it away to the wife, and it's just not that important to me. And having talked to people that own 8, 9, 10 bikes, and some people that own like 3, it almost universally the advice is if they were going to own one bike, because most guys will own a Monster and a Panigale. But generally the advice is if they were going to own one bike and one bike only, it would be the Streetfighter 4 S. And so yeah, that's kind of the direction that I'm leaning in. And no, I haven't explored all of the abilities of the Monster, but who the hell really does? Again, I'm not, it's not logical. But it's fun. My only other concern is that not only is the Streetfighter more expensive than the Monster, but it looks a lot more expensive, and that could be a little bit of a problem in the city. Luckily I park in a garage, and I rarely leave it outside for more than a few hours, never leave it outside overnight. And those are kind of like general rules to live by the way, in the city. Oh, and don't park it in the Bronx. Not even for 20 minutes. It'll be gone. Nothing against the Bronx, but the Bronx has something against bikes. maybe next year at some point. I do ride my bike throughout the winter, so I'm gonna get a good amount of additional miles in on this Monster before I trade it in. And actually, speaking of trading in, Monsters are pretty sought after. Dealerships will sell Monsters all day long. Streetfighters are a little bit harder to sell, so I feel like I'll get my money's worth out of this Monster, especially because, you know, it's in good shape, good tasteful mods done to it, reasonable. So we'll see. I do still have to test ride the Streetfighter, you know, make sure I like it. So I might head up to Hudson Valley for their demo day this coming Tuesday. We'll see, I'll let you know. Coming up to Classic Car Club here on the left. I'll have to do another video on that too. Like a tour. That place needs to be seen. Actually, they have an event tonight, a Ford event. That's being hosted by Jack Daniels at 7 o'clock. They got a Ford GT in there, Raptors and snakes and shit. That's it right there, Pier 76. Love this entrance. It's busy. Rolls Royce's paint job is more expensive than my bike. On one door. All right. Cheers.